Hey there everyone, welcome to Violet's Dream Tarot. So this is going to be the July love predictions for 2020 and I've already done the general predictions reading. So if you haven't seen that, I'm going to put a link in the description box so that you can go and watch that as well. But this one is just going to be focusing on love because I know a lot of people want a specific video about love predictions and then some people also prefer them to be separate because they're not as interested in love. So this is your love predictions, and as a bit of an update for those of you that saw the post that I put on YouTube yesterday, basically what happened is my phone, which I use for filming, died yesterday morning really unexpectedly. Like there was no warning at all, it just completely gave up and I was not able to revive it. So I ended up taking it to a repair shop and they've kept it for, they've told me a week, possibly a week and a half. So they've given me a replacement phone which is less good, but the camera is still hopefully fairly similar. So hopefully we won't have any real difference in quality, but I just want to apologise for everyone who's had a reading booked with me and is now having to wait an extra day than they normally would because I wasn't able to get any filming done today, yesterday, and I actually wanted to film this video as well yesterday, but obviously couldn't, so I'm actually filming this on the day that I'm going to release it. And I want to say thank you to everyone who posted such lovely messages on that status because I was pretty stressed and panicked yesterday because I just was not in control of the situation at all, and I really didn't want to let any of you down, like either people who watch my videos on YouTube or people who'd booked a reading, and I just didn't want anyone to have to wait longer than was necessary. So thank you so much to the people who posted some lovely supportive messages because it really made me feel comforted and supported knowing that people were there to just offer that comfort when I needed it. So thank you so much if you were one of those people. So we've got 3 piles today and we're also doing a pick a gnome. So this is going to be like a layered reading. So your piles are going to give you your main reading, your cards, and if you're new here, we do charms and dice as well on each pile, so please stick around so that you get your full reading. And then when you've chosen a pile, you're also going to choose one of my gnomes, and that's going to give you a few extra cards from the Gnome Tarot and also some channeled messages, because I like to do channeled messages for the love predictions because I know a lot of you really like that as well. So basically it's like a layered reading and it gives you a more personal reading. So I'm going to show you what I've put on the piles first because I know I've been rambling a little bit here, but I just needed to give everyone that update. So pile 1, we've got this vitamin face mask. I thought with it being a love reading and my readings always focusing on self-empowerment, I thought we'd put these face masks on, all about self-care. So this is the vitamin face mask that has like a kind of acidy, citrusy smell to it. Pile 2 has this pearl face mask. And pile 3 has royal jelly face mask. So whichever one you would most like to try, if you were round at my place and we were doing face masks, whichever one you'd most like to put on, that is going to be your pile. And then we'll also choose a gnome, and you can either just watch your pile first and then come back and pick a gnome, or you can do that now. So we've got Gismund here, and I'm going to put them as Gnome A, B, and C, and D in the timestamps. So if you don't remember the name, that's fine, but that's Gismund, Gnome A, Gunvald, Gnome B. I'll be putting the timestamps in the description box and also in a pinned comment as well. Geir is Gnome C. So those have more of like a fluffy star covered hat, and these two have like a knitted hat, but that's Geir. And finally Gjord, Gnome D. Kind of reminds me of like a Christmassy colour. So it's fine to pick more than one, and obviously pause the video if you need to, take as much time as you need because obviously you have more than one thing to choose from here. Want to say a big thank you as well to my patrons on my Patreon page, including Alexandra, Kat, Alex, and Ashley. Thank you so much for your support. It really means the world to me. Anyone who wants to help out the channel in any way, I have links in the description box, and I would love it if you would check out my Patreon page and my Amazon wish list for new decks. I've got a PayPal link as well for anyone who wants to leave a little tip or donation to the channel for the readings that I offer here. But please don't feel in any way pressured to do that. I only want you to do that if you actually want to and if you have the money spare. But on my Patreon page, we do exclusive picker cards. We also just do random spiritual things. Like at the moment, I'm doing birthday angels, introducing people to the guardian angel who watches over their birthday and kind of going in depth about that. You also get to vote for new decks that we get every month. So it's kind of a way of being interactive with the channel and just showing your support in that way. Also, if you'd like to book a private reading, I have an Etsy page and the link is in the description box, but I ask that you leave me your email address, your question and your name when you do that. And if you're asking about anyone else, I need their name as well, because that's how I connect to their energy. So please don't forget to do that, because I've had some issues with people who forget, and it just means that they have to wait longer for their reading if I can't make contact with them easily. I think that's everything I want to say. Also would love it if you would subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it. Okay, so I'm going to start with pile number 1 now. Hey there everyone who chose pile number 1. So if you picked the vitamin face mask, then this is your main reading, and then your gnome will give you your channeled messages and just a few extra cards to personalize the reading a bit more. So let's take a look at your tarot cards first. So we've got Laska, which is the lovers. It's a nice start. Gemini energy there. Sedmička vzduchu, the 7 of air, the 7 of swords. And Sedmička ohnia, the 7 of fire, which is the 7 of wands. So 2 7s and a 6. So what I'm seeing here is that there is someone you are interested in. Maybe you're in a relationship already, or you just kind of have your eye on someone, or you're dating someone, and you do have strong feelings for this person. Like you feel really drawn to them, you feel really connected to them, really attracted to them. There's this feeling there of there being that special person kind of in your sights already. And then we've got the 7 of air and the 7 of fire. So what I'm seeing is that there is some kind of issue with someone not being fully truthful, or someone kind of choosing not to mention something until someone else finds out about it, if you see what I mean. So maybe someone is just not being completely open about their feelings or their kind of long-term vision for a relationship. It may be that someone has kind of concealed something about their past or hasn't been fully truthful. Like an example would be if they have an ex and they say that they were only with them for like a few weeks, but it turns out it was actually a longer relationship than that, or they say that it wasn't actually a committed relationship, but it actually was. Just that kind of thing. And I think it's going to lead to some kind of confrontation or argument, or you just feel like someone's being defensive or trying to justify their position. So it might actually be you who's doing this, like someone finds out something and takes it the wrong way, and you didn't mean to conceal it, but they just take it as you having lied to them or held something back. Or it may be that you find something out about this person and it just makes you see them differently, and there's like this feeling of not seeing eye to eye. So I'm going to take a look at your other cards and see what they have to say. And if you're new, do stick around so you get your full reading, because we do charms and dice on top as well. We use lots of different things in this channel. So we've got Guide of Wands here, which is the Queen of Wands, and it's actually the Pied Piper in this deck. So what I'm seeing is that someone is going to try and talk you round in a situation. It might actually be you doing the talking again. Like this is a general reading, so I'm not sure which side this is on, but feels like something comes to light and someone tries to talk themselves out of it, or kind of, you know, charm their way back in, or justify their actions in a way that seems relatable or reasonable. And I kind of feel like you see through this in a way, if this is happening to you rather than you being the defensive person. Like I see that you recognize this person as just being charming or trying to wheedle their way back in, and you're kind of not accepting it, although there is this strong feeling of attraction towards this person, because obviously the Queen of Wands, very attractive, very confident, very just magnetic person. So there is a strong pull in this relationship, or whatever this is for you, whether you are actually in a committed relationship or not. I'm seeing like a strong connection here that is really quite intense. So we've got Fairy Ointment, the Sight, number 43, which boils down to 7, like the Chariot. Yeah, definitely you're kind of seeing through something here, or you're seeing the truth of a situation. Maybe you're not dating someone and you've kind of left a relationship, and now you're looking back on it and actually seeing it for what it was, and realizing that maybe you weren't always told the truth in the relationship, or maybe someone was just always trying to get you to agree to something that you weren't happy with. But that's what I'm seeing here. You seeing the truth, and you seeing through any attempts to deceive you, or any attempts to lie to you. I feel for some of you this will also be for relationships in your family and friendship circle. Like, you'll know that you have a friend or a family member who is being deceived in some way, or is being kind of manipulated by their partner, and you're seeing through that. And maybe you try and tell them this and it just doesn't go down very well with them. Like, that's also what I'm seeing for some of you. They're just like, they shoot the messenger in a way. Then we've got free will, sovereignty, independence, free spirit, number 23, which boils down to 5. So yeah, this is about you coming back into your confidence, coming into your power. In this month, I feel like the cards are kind of all in your hands at this time, because whatever the situation is, this person wants you to react in a certain way, or someone is hoping that you will act in a certain way because of it. And so they're trying to influence that. But because you've seen through it, you're like, no, I'm going to do what feels right for me. And you're not going to make me do anything that I'm not comfortable with. You're not going to rush me in my decision. Like, you're really coming into your power in this month and being confident. So I really, really like that. Maybe there is a relationship where someone's just trying to move too quickly, or someone is like, well, I don't want marriage in the future, and that's something that's really important to you. So that leads to this kind of disagreement. We've got the end of a tough cycle approaches, full moon in Capricorn, and that's nice as well. So Capricorn energy, as well as all the fire signs I should have mentioned earlier, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and of course Gemini coming through here. Yeah, what I'm seeing is that this issue does resolve itself and things start to get better for you towards the end of the month. There's definitely this feeling of empowerment for you, which is really nice. And then we've got unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. And soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. Yeah, so that would explain the real strength of attraction that I was feeling in this relationship. It does feel that there is someone that you are so kind of enmeshed with and so drawn towards that you struggle to pull yourself out of this situation. This may have been an ongoing situation for some of you that's kind of not new to you in this month. But what I'm seeing is just you kind of coming into your power in this month and saying, yeah, okay, we may be soulmates, or we may have known each other in a previous lifetime. That doesn't mean that we're going to be together in this lifetime. Like, I'm seeing this unrequited love being on your end, because you see this picture here, this guy, he's kissing this woman's hand and she just does not look even remotely impressed. Like, look at that face. So definitely that's what I'm seeing in this month. There's just this sense of you're coming into your power, and actually you've done this, you've done the whole relationship thing, and it's like now I'm going to do me. Now I'm going to do what's right for me. So good on you, everyone who's picked this pile. And then we've got přijmej život s radostí. So accept life with bravery. You know, be courageous, be strong in this life to make the decisions that are actually going to be important for you in the long run. Don't stay in a situation that is draining for you, or that is just really difficult for you to kind of hang around in. Just be brave in this situation. Really calls for your courage. So we're going to put your charms on top now, and then we'll do your dice as well. So just a quick disclaimer, if you are wearing headphones, or if you have the volume turned up pretty loud, then I would recommend just turning it down a bit now, because these can be a bit loud. They're metal charms in a metal tin, so when I shuffle them, they're just a bit loud sometimes. Okay, so group 1, what is coming up in your love life in July 2020? Looking to see if we have any initials popping out, but I don't think we do for this pile. So I'll just go down here. So we've got the adventure symbol, the pirate ship. So it feels like new beginnings, a fresh outlook coming in for you in this month. Definitely we've got the Hanged Man here, so there has been some deliberation about this for a while. I think for a lot of you, this is not a new situation for you. I think this has been like an ongoing situationship, or kind of almost feels like a battle, like back and forth going on. And you're choosing to free yourself from that in this month and stand up for yourself. And that's why we've got this lovely transformation charm, making me think of emerging from your cocoon and just looking forward to new horizons, like this lovely pirate ship here. New horizons, new experiences. Also got the fire extinguisher, and I love that it's landed on this card about a tough cycle ending for you, because this is about putting an end to a crisis situation, like putting the fire out, essentially saving the day. And we've got this healing symbol, the starfish. I always think of healing when I see them because they grow back their limbs when they lose them. Got a worry thread there as well. And yeah, this sense of like things just not working out for you in the recent past, like things have just been not going your way for a while. You've had it tough. We've got the helmet there. You've been through a tough time. Like I said, that sense of it being a battle for you. And then we've got the seduction and sometimes manipulation charm here. It's like a little foxy thing. And so I always think of someone who's like very charming and seductive, but also the flip side of that is that they can be manipulative, and that's kind of what I'm seeing with the Guide of Wands there. There is someone who is just very good with their words and has a very convincing manner, so just be aware that someone may be trying to talk you round in this month, or trying to make you agree to something that you're not happy with. And it's important that you remember that you are this sovereign, you are this queen, and what you say goes in this situation. You've got the power here now. Also got the Russian doll. So for some of you, there is a Russian connection here, either with someone's name or surname or family history. Maybe they speak Russian. But for a lot of you, it's also about having bottled up your feelings for a long time. When I think of these dolls, you open them, there's another one inside and another one inside that, and it just feels like bottling things up and putting on this pretty face to the world, like this happy face that isn't really how you're feeling. Got Pegasus here, this charm of wonder and inspiration, and also of healing as well, because it's said in Greek mythology that when Pegasus steps on the ground with his hooves, a healing spring rises up out of the earth where his hooves have touched it. So it's another healing symbol. And we've got two paw prints here. So this makes me think of following in someone's footsteps, like following someone, maybe following someone on social media. Maybe you keep being reminded of someone because you see them on social media and it's time to finally kind of make that distance. We've got the release symbol, that leaf about shedding things that you no longer need. Teamwork as well with the hockey sticks. Maybe this person is trying to tell you like, oh, we're a team, we always get through these things, like you always take me back kind of thing. And it's kind of what I'm seeing from your energy is that you've had enough. It's like, no, not anymore. You've had so many chances and each time you've let me down, and that's what it feels like. The shield there as well, which is interesting because you've got the helmet, like there's almost a full suit of armor here, protecting yourself, defending yourself. You've also got a guardian angel, which is guardian angel for wealth. And I know you can't see that. This camera doesn't seem to be focusing as much as my normal one, so I'm sorry about that, but this is quite hard to read anyway. It's like really tiny and scrawled, but it says guardian angel for wealth. So your finances are being watched over by the angels in this month. That's just a nice additional message. Got this little elephant, which is about learning from your mistakes and moving forward, removing obstacles from your path. And also the awakening symbol, this alarm clock. So it is like a wake-up call for you. It's like finally something happens that makes you think, I can't do this anymore. Like, I need to learn from these previous experiences and just make sure that my future does not involve these triggers or does not involve these situations that keep bringing me down. Skeletons in the closet as well, something needing to be shaken out, something needing to be removed. And I love it. You've got this crown, which is my free will symbol, partly because of this card. I just love how it kind of depicts you as being this sovereign. And so I love that you've got the charm as well, just to back that up. That's why I love doing charms and dice for the synchronicities. And the swallow as well, something coming back to you, someone returning to you. I feel like a lot of you, this is someone that you've broken up with a few times and keeps coming back, or it's like a situationship where you're never properly together, but you both have feelings for each other, but just someone isn't willing to yield. For some of you, this is also not just a soulmate, but a past life connection, as I was saying before. So that's also why it just feels so intense for you, and you feel like you shouldn't move on from this person because they are so important to you on like a soul level. But as I said, just because you've been with them in another lifetime and just because you are a member of their soul family doesn't mean that they're the right person for you in this lifetime. We all have different things to experience and different reasons for being here. So I'm going to put your dice on top now and see what they have to say. So if you're new to my channel, I roll a 6-sided dice to see which set we're going to use, because I have 6 sets at the moment, although I am hoping to get some more. And then when I pull those, because there's 9 dice in each set, I roll a d10, 10-sided dice, to see how many we're going to roll. And if I get a 0 or a 1, I roll again to try and get you some more. So which set of dice am I going to roll for group 1 in this reading? 6. Okay, so that is the Voyagers dice. And how many of these dice am I rolling for group 1 today? 5. Okay. And the reason why I don't just roll all of them from one set is because I don't want to roll 9 dice if only 5 of them are going to have some meaning for you, because otherwise it means that like nearly half of those dice are then going to be confusing or just not relevant. So sometimes you only get 2 dice, and I'm sorry about that, but I think it's more important to have the messages that you need rather than just more things. So what's coming up for group 1 in their love life in July 2020? Okay. Yes, there's a bit of sadness here, a bit of that kind of blue feeling with the rain, just this sense of like you've got the cloud hanging over your head and you know that the sun is going to come out afterwards, but you still have to go through that period of being in the rain and experiencing that. I think also this situation is just so exhausting for you because we've got that, what's it called? Petrol tank indicator. I don't drive, you could probably tell. I don't drive, and it'll be called something different in America as well, probably like a gas tank reader or something, I don't know. It'll come to me as soon as I stop filming, but basically it's showing almost 0, like there's barely anything left, and it just feels like your energy has been so drained and worn down by this situation. That's why I think for a lot of you it's been going on for quite a while, because it seems like this has been a situation with lots of cycles of repetition and so much wearing down in this situation, and you just feel like I can't do it anymore and I shouldn't have to do it anymore. Like there's just this feeling of having battled for so long and just not gotten anything back. You've not had that refueling. You've just still kept going forward, and it's tiring. And we've got the cave as well, like wanting to hide away, also with the hanged man feeling like just needing that time away from this situation to make your decision. So maybe you have kind of withdrawn from this person, and now that's why they're desperate to kind of make you agree to certain things because they want you back. But what I'm seeing there is just this needing that space, needing that clear space to think without the noise, without someone constantly being in your face trying to make you make a decision. For some of you, there is also a Japanese connection here. Maybe someone is really into like Japanese culture, or they speak Japanese, or they are from there. But that is coming up for some of you. It's fine if that's not for you. Like some of these charms are quite niche and they will only affect a few of you. And then we've also got the circus tent. Again, it's making me think of that circular, I'm just making up words here. Cyclical and circular feeling of this relationship, like it just keeps coming round to the same thing. It keeps coming back to the same experiences. So that's what I'm seeing. And also just feeling like the variety here as well. Like when I get the circus, there's something unusual about either you or this person. For a lot of you, there's like something really unique about them. Maybe that's what keeps drawing you back. You think you just won't find someone like that again. But yeah, be brave enough to to step away from this, because I think you're going to have a lot better things in your future, and you're going to have so much more energy and joyfulness to welcome in new experiences. And also for some of you, if you weren't aware that this was like a past life relationship, soulmate relationship, if you weren't aware of that, hopefully this will help you find some peace and kind of understand why this situation is just so intense for you. So I hope you enjoyed this, and now you can go and pick your gnome if you haven't already, or if you remember it, just go to the timestamps if you remember what number it was or what his name was, because they're going to give you a channeled messages and also a couple more cards just to kind of personalize the reading to you. So I'm going to move on to the second pile of cards now, and you can just go back to the front and pick your gnome or jump to the gnome that you chose. Hey there everyone, if you pick pile 2 with the pearl face mask, and this is your main reading, and like I said, stick around because you get charms and dice on the top if you're new. That's what we do here. I do it with every reading. So let's look at your tarot cards first. Okay, so we've got Devítka vzduchu, which is the 9 of air, the 9 of swords. Posel ohňa, the knight of fire or the knight of wands. And Boustevník, the hermit. I just love that card. Like, that to me just really symbolizes the hermit, like they're not even in, or they are in, but they're certainly not opening the door. Yeah, so what I'm seeing here is that some of you, like straight away what's jumping out at me is this feeling of anxiety, this feeling of worry. So I think some of you do suffer with anxiety, sometimes panic attacks as well as some of you, but anxiety is mainly what's coming out. And so I'm seeing someone coming towards you in this month who is possibly not your usual type, because I feel like if you do have anxiety, you're unlikely to go for someone who is like this, because this person is probably very loud, probably very confident in like an almost overwhelming way. Like they're really brazen and maybe quite sporty as well, and I just feel like they're quite overbearing in some way, and I think that's going to scare you off a little bit in this month. Like, it might just be that this isn't their personality, but that's how it makes you feel because this person is coming towards you, and that's maybe not what you have been used to for a while. You haven't dated for a while, or you've just been shut away at home and haven't had that kind of strength of interaction for quite a long time. And so I think some of you, you're going to be a bit spooked in this month just because something happens more quickly than you're expecting in terms of growing close to someone or someone kind of expressing their feelings for you. And I think it's going to just take you aback a little bit and you're not sure how to respond. Like, I know this is going to be frustrating for some of you as well, because I think some of you have been really wanting to meet someone and just get out and have some nice experiences, and so you're almost going to be berating yourself thinking, why, when they come towards me and when this actually happens for me, do I now feel scared and panicked and just want to like not go through with it? Like, you know, that feeling when you're about to meet someone that you've been talking to online for a while, or meet someone that you haven't seen for a long time, and you almost get there and then you're just like, I want to turn back now, I don't want to go through with this. But I feel like I want to encourage you just to step out of your comfort zone a little bit in this month, because what I'm seeing is that this hermit mode needs to come to an end for you a little bit, just because it seems to be keeping you in a kind of anxious loop. And I kind of get it as well, because I'm not necessarily an anxious person. I'm a pretty confident person, but I think recently, just having stayed in the house for so long and not really speaking to a lot of people face to face, I've started to get a bit anxious about going to the big supermarket, because I live in a big city, and just going out there and being around so many people as an empath is quite overwhelming now that I'm not used to it. So maybe that is what you're feeling, just this sense of it's scary to have that contact with someone when I haven't been used to it for so long. And zodiac signs that I'm seeing here are Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and Virgo. So I'm going to take a look at your other cards, see what they have to say. So we've got 3 of Hearts here, which is 3 of Cups. And this is nice because this is like you wanting to open yourself up to fun, to more light-hearted energy. It's like you want to come out of this hermit mode. It's just your mind is kind of trying to keep you back in with anxious thoughts, or thinking like, what if, or thinking, I don't have the energy to deal with this. But it's like in your heart, you want to open up to this. You want to have this playful communication. And so I think definitely, at least in messages, you are open to this, you are having like a playful communication with someone, there's some flirting, there's some banter, light-hearted energy, and I think it kind of makes your heart leap in that excited, flirtatious way. So I'm really happy to see that for you, because this is just such a joyful card and such a healthy card as well. Like, everyone's happy here, everyone's dancing, this little clam seems to be singing some kind of song. Like, it's just such a lovely feeling here. And I like the anchor as well, the symbol of stability. It feels safe and contained, and I like that. So let's look at your other cards. We've got Thumbelina, expectations, number 13. So yeah, again, maybe you are setting these expectations in your mind, but it's just anxiety talking, or it's just your worries kind of taking over, kind of trying to self-sabotage in a way, saying, oh, it's going to go wrong, or they're not going to like you when they see you because you're going to look different to your photo in some way. And, you know, it's just this feeling building up within you. Or if you haven't spoken to someone for a while and you're kind of reconciling, you're like, what if it's different now? What if we've changed in some way? And you're setting up these expectations before you have the experience, if you see what I mean. You're kind of setting yourself up to fail in your mind. So try not to listen to those fears, as hard as it is, because they're in your mind, they're there, you have to listen to them, but try to dismiss them basically as what they are, which is just fears, anxiety, self-sabotage basically. And we've got nobility, honor, high standards, idealistic, number 42, which boils down to 6, the lovers. So yeah, again, expectations and high standards here is making me think that you're almost trying to dismiss someone by saying, oh, well, there's something that is not good about them. Like, you know, you're trying to come up with reasons as to why you shouldn't go on a date with this person, or why you should stop speaking to this person. Like, it might even get to a ridiculous point. Like, my friend is like this as well. And my friend, if I try and say to her, look, you could talk to this person, you could try and get closer to them. She's like, no, his knees are too knobbly. I couldn't go out with someone with such short, like, knobbly knees. What if he was wearing shorts in the summer? It would be embarrassing. And it's just to try and tell herself that she's tried, but that there wasn't like a good sample of people for her to be around. And so it's like, it's a self-sabotage to keep herself safe. And so I feel like you're in a similar mindset, maybe not as extreme, but you're trying to keep yourself safe by resisting change, even though it would bring you good experiences. So it's just about changing the way you think and kind of letting your guard down a little bit. This 3 of hearts is about allowing yourself to enjoy, allowing yourself to let your hair down and just have some light-hearted conversation without worrying about where it's going, without worrying about what the future will hold between you. Just enjoying the moment is really important. So we've got balanced spirituality and practicality, full moon in Pisces, so Pisces energy coming out now, and show the world the real you, full moon in Aquarius. And you guys got 2 Moonology cards. I only wanted 1, but I kept both of them. And so this is basically saying, again, balance your fears and your fantasies and everything that you're thinking and feeling against the practical reality. Like, see it for what it is against the information that you actually have. If you're reading too much into what someone's saying and thinking, oh, well, they must be like deeply in love with me, or they must be trying to make me think a certain way, or they must be, you know, meaning something else when they say that, then just take a step back and say, look, even if that's the case, you can't prove it. Like, this is the information you've got, this is what you're going on. So just take that at face value. Try not to read too much between the lines or overanalyze what you're saying to someone or what they're saying to you. Try not to worry about where things are going or what they expect of you. Just breathe and allow yourself to enjoy the moment. And show the world the real you as well. Don't feel like you have to fit into other people's expectations. Maybe you are worried that someone that you're seeing in this month, maybe you think that their previous relationships have been really different to you. Like, the people that they've gone for have been very different to you. And so you feel like you have to fit in with that. But just don't. Just be natural, be yourself, because that's how relationships best unfold. And we've got stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking and faith will bring you romance. And I think that's so important for you, group 2, this positive thinking, because I think you're almost trying to talk yourself out of something here. And you deserve love. You are lovable as well. If you think that you need to fit into someone else's expectations, that's not true. You deserve love just as you are. Rozhodně se dnes. So decide today. Okay, so decide today to see something differently. Decide today to accept love for yourself. Decide today to just enjoy the moment and to have that lighthearted fun without worrying about the future. That's what I want you to do right now, is just to make some kind of decision for yourself like that. So we're going to do your charms now and then your dice, but just as a disclaimer before I start shuffling these, if you have headphones on or if you have the volume up really loud, probably best to turn it down just while I shuffle them, because they're mainly metal. They can be quite loud. So that's your warning. I always try to remember, because sometimes I forget and then people get upset because they were like half asleep or they had their headphones in or whatever, and so I try to remember to give that little warning. Okay, so group 2, what is coming up in your love life in July 2020? Okay. Okay. So I'm just looking to see if we've got any initials. Okay, I think we just have this one. That's an N. So that could be someone's first name, surname. It could be a place name. Maybe just a random word is going to come to you, but don't worry if that's not the case, because it might only be for a few people. We've got ambitious there, which is Capricorn energy. Again, that's making me think of the expectations. Like maybe you're setting too high standards for yourself just deliberately, or maybe you are thinking that someone else has these very high standards. There's this weight here, this burden. Some of you are worried about your weight and kind of body image. For some of you, you just feel burdened by these thoughts that kind of creep in. There's this trapped feeling here with the spider's web, feeling stuck in a situation, feeling stuck in like this cycle of thoughts. Healing needs to be done as well for some of you. There's this starfish that for me is a symbol of healing, because they grow back their limbs when they lose them. And also the wasp as well. Some of you have been stung. That's like a symbol of pain for me that's still being carried around. Maybe you're afraid to get back into a relationship because you have been stung in the past. The unicorn as well, that's telling you that you're a beautiful soul, you're a very rare human being, and you're special. And you deserve love. It's a really beautiful message. You've got a guardian angel here, and it is guardian angel for health. I know you can't really see this because it's really small and the camera's not focusing as well as my proper one does, but guardian angel for health. So your health is being watched over by angels at this time. So that's a nice message as well, I think. Got an angel feather there, just saying that heaven hasn't abandoned you, angels are watching over you, and that goes for mental health as well as physical health. Got a lovely love heart there as well. Some of you definitely catching the feelings in this month. And the seahorse, I like this. This doesn't come out very often, but this is a symbol of someone who's prepared to give 50-50 in a relationship, who's prepared to be an equal partner. So I think that you're on to a winner here. Like, I don't think you should try and sabotage this situation. There is someone in this month who could potentially be a good partner for you if you're prepared to accept them. Also got the Deathly Hallows there. Some of you big fans of Harry Potter. What I'm seeing with this is like this kind of eternal thing. Like, I think of something that's been around for a very long time. I think this anxiety or this self-sabotage is not something that's just coming up for you in this month. I feel like this is something that you've repeatedly had to deal with. Maybe not just in relationships, but in other areas of your life as well. So it's time to identify that and kind of own it and accept it and face it, you know, stare it in the face, because that's the first step towards changing something, is actually acknowledging it. And we've got the worry thread and this apron as well, which fell off one of my worry dolls. So they're just symbols of worry for me, and I can see that quite strongly in your energy. Find joy in the journey. That's so important. Like, just enjoy the day-to-day, just enjoy the experiences without worrying about the destination, like without worrying whether you're going to be in a committed relationship with this person or whether they want something long-term. Just enjoy the experience. Protection and faith as well with the cross. You are protected, you are watched over. And the mantra charm as well, that's interesting. So again, it's not really focusing very well, but this is Om. which is what people sometimes chant when they're meditating. It's the Om symbol. And so this is saying, have a certain word or phrase in mind that you can tell yourself and like repeat to yourself when you're getting into this situation of like spiraling thoughts or self-sabotage or fear. Just say to yourself something like, it's fear talking, or like, just enjoy the moment, like find joy in the journey. Maybe just tell yourself that one thing and keep repeating it so that you can just dismiss those thoughts or feelings. Have that mantra. I think some of you also meditating and mindfulness will be helpful to help you stay grounded and kind of sort through those intense emotions. There's the bat there as well, this fear symbol, the shadow self popping up. And the swallow, that's the symbol of something or someone returning to you. So I wonder if this is just these feelings coming back to you. Because as I said, I think this is not something that is just new for you. I think a lot of you have had struggles with anxiety or fear or self-sabotage in the past. I love this little star, it's winking. It's saying, have some fun, you know, have faith, be optimistic. That's what the star is all about. But I love that it's got this kind of cheeky, light-hearted energy to it. And also the cookie jar. Treat yourself, do something that you enjoy, do something that is fun and maybe a bit decadent or naughty for you, you know, buy something that's a bit expensive but will make you feel better about your appearance. For example, if it's like a new haircut, new clothes, some nice makeup, maybe an indulgent treat. Just do something for yourself that kind of lifts your mood and makes you feel a little bit more confident in this month. So I'm going to put your dice on top now, and how I do this, if you're new, is I roll the 6-sided dice first because I have 6 sets of dice, although I am looking into getting some more, and that tells us which set we're going to use. And then because there's 9 dice in each set, I roll a 10-sided dice to see how many we're going to roll. And if we get a 0 or a 1, I roll again because I just want you to have more than that. Yeah, so we're going to do which set first. Which set of dice are we rolling for group number 2? 4, so that's my Looney Tunes dice. Okay. And how many of these dice are we rolling for group number 2 today? 1. Let's roll again. 8. It's weird. 1 often turns into 8. Really strange. Okay. And also because there's 9 dice, if we get 8, then we're taking 1 out. So I guess that makes sense. Okay, so what is coming up for group 2 in their love life in July 2020? Okay, yeah, so we've got the barn. You've been storing up your energy, you've been in this kind of safe space for a while, you've been in your comfort zone, and what I'm seeing here is you getting out of that comfort zone, like feeling suddenly you haven't got that stable ground underneath your feet. This is someone who's run off the edge of a cliff and has now looked down and realized that there's no ground there, and they're panicking. And that's what I was getting really strongly from your energy, is this feeling of panic coming out of that comfort zone with that lovely hearth there into the wide world, and kind of using this anxiety as a stick to beat yourself with is what I'm seeing. It's really getting you down at some points because you just think, why am I feeling like this when this is what I've wanted and this is what I was hoping would come my way? So feeling a bit flattened by this, a little bit crushed, but don't let it get you down is what I'm trying to say. Don't let it get you down. Try and use it as an opportunity to face this issue and this problem and really start resolving it. Choose to do that today. Decide today. Because we've got this platform rising up, which makes me think of you going up a level, you improving in some way, and the catapult as well, something launching, something beginning, like a big movement forward in your situation. And also this lovely dice, this window which is partly open. This makes me think of the phrase, when God closes a door, he opens a window. So like when one opportunity closes off from you, and again there is a closed door there, which is interesting. I love doing this. That's why I love putting the charms and dice on top, to see those little stories and synchronicities. So when one opportunity closes off for you, there is another one available. That's what I'm seeing here. But I would encourage you to try and pursue this, not maybe as a full-on relationship with this person in this month, but just enjoy what they have to offer. Enjoy being around them and having that experience, because even if you don't have a full-on relationship with this person in the long term, it will just kind of prepare you for future relationships, and it means that you've had more of a fun time and good experiences at this moment, and builds you up back into kind of being sociable again if you are very introverted, kind of getting like INTJ, INFP from a lot of you here, INFJ as well, just this feeling of like home is safe and people are scary, although I don't dislike them. That's the kind of feeling that I'm getting here. So I hope you enjoyed this, and now you can go and choose your gnome. So if you haven't already picked a gnome from the beginning, just go back to the start of the video and do that. If you have and you remember which number he is or what his name is, then you can just go to the timestamps in the description box or in the comments section and jump to that now, because I'm going to move on to pile number 3. Hi there everyone, if you chose the Royal Jelly face mask in pile 3, then this is the main part of your reading. But as I said, we have got the gnomes with the channeled messages and a few extra cards just to make it more of a personalized reading for you. I know a lot of you like these layered readings. So you actually got the most cards, I think, pile 3. You got 4 tarot cards, and then some other cards where I just wanted 1, you got 2, so I kept them. So let's see what's coming up for you. We've got 4 wody, which is the 4 of water, the 4 of cups. Král země, the king of earth, the king of pentacles. 7 země, the 7 of earth, or the 7 of pentacles. And 4 ohně, the 4 of fire, or the 4 of wands. So I like this. You've got 2 4s, the symbol of stability there. I also see that there's someone who's kind of on your radar, let's say, in this month. It may not be that you're dating or anything like that, but there is someone who you've kind of got your eye on. They're possibly older than you or more experienced than you in some way. It's likely that they are also an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. That's what I'm seeing here. Someone who has caught your eye or who you are talking to in July. And they're a pretty reliable person as well, but what I am seeing here is that they're maybe moving too slowly. Like there's this sense of maybe you were talking before lockdown for some of you, and now communication is a bit more stilted, like it's less natural, it feels more forced, or it's like messages are fewer and further in between just because people are just so bored and they just don't have a lot to say. I feel like that's what's going on for some of you, or some of you, this relationship is just going to be moving quite slowly. At this time, you just feel like there's not a lot of improvement, and maybe you would like things to move more quickly, and this person is just happy to go it at a slow pace. I mean, the King of Pentacles is just the evolved form of the Knight of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles can be kind of frustratingly slow sometimes. And then we've got the 4 of cups and the 4 of wands. So what I'm seeing here as well is that you're a little bit bored, a little bit just with this whole situation. Like there's this kind of lackluster feeling, like you just want something more dynamic, more exciting, more vibrant. But what I do like is that towards the end of the month, with this 4 of wands feeling, your extra card, it does seem like that has evened out more. And I know that they're both 4s, but the 4 of cups is definitely more of like a dull feeling than the 4 of wands. The 4 of wands is this lovely harmonious feeling, like things are back on track, you're kind of happy with the way things are, it feels balanced, it feels comfortable. So I like that. I just feel maybe with Mercury retrograde, you know, there's this difficulty in communicating, there's just a feeling of not seeing eye to eye, or you're just missing each other in terms of schedules. Like I know I have a few people at the moment where they're just so busy with work because they're out at work that I will message them and then they reply to me, and because they're in a different time zone as well, it'll be like 2 a.m. when I get their message and I'm already asleep by that point. So it's like not proper communication. So that might be happening for some of you as well, people in different time zones or just different schedules going on. But I see things evening out towards the end of the month, which is nice. When we come out of that Mercury retrograde, a lot of people are finding improved harmony, improved relationships. So let's look at your other cards. And as I said, stick around for your charms and dice so you get your full reading, because we do that on all readings on this channel if you're new. That's just something that makes my channel a bit unique, a bit different. So we've got Wishing Upon a Star, the star card, and this has been coming out quite a few times in YouTube readings, like not so much in private readings, but on the YouTube readings this has come out a few times. So I like this. This is saying that you're on the right path. Things are going to improve over, like, you know, the long term, things are going to improve. You can start making long-term plans. This is someone who is reliable, you guys. This is someone who envisages you being in their life long term. And even if they're not especially forthcoming with things like I love you, or things like, you know, I want us to be together, in their mind they don't need to express it because it's a given. Like, they just expect you to know that. But maybe you need that expression a bit more. You might want to look up love languages if you don't know what that is, because people have different ways of expressing love and their feelings for each other. And it may be that you need to hear words, whereas they're more about acts of service, or, you know, just being around. You know, they're just a different way of expressing love. So you might want to look that up, love languages, if you haven't heard that before. But one thing I do want you to do is just pause the video and look at this card and just envisage yourself being this person dropping the coin into the well, and make a wish. Like, just make a wish right now for your situation or for your future, because I really like doing it whenever we get this wish card. It's so beautiful. And it's possible that at some point in this month a wish will be granted for you, so I like this. It's a good omen. I think for some of you it also came out in the general predictions reading, so exciting as well. If you haven't watched that, I would recommend doing that just to see if you get that card. I'll put it in the description box. So then we got two of these cards as well. We got number 36, the Snow Queen, Loyalty. That boils down to 9, like the Hermit. Feeling of completion as well, fullness, loyalty. And Taboos, Bluebeard, number 17. So 2 17s, because that's the star. Trying to be more on it with the numbers, because I know a lot of you are really into that, and sometimes it's hard to see them if they're quite small. But yeah, loyalty and taboos. This is interesting. I feel some of you are, you feel kind of loyal to a person even though they haven't necessarily been showing you a lot of affection recently, or they haven't been making time for you because they've been super busy, but you still feel like you should stick around. For some of you, this is about loyalty to your family, and maybe this person, if they're a lot older than you, for example, your family wouldn't accept them, or maybe they're from a different culture to you, or just not the kind of person that your family would want you to be around. Maybe they have someone else in mind for you, and so it's just this feeling of like going against what you feel you should be doing, but you still want to do it, basically. So that will resonate with some of you. Maybe also some of you have children, or this person has children, and that makes you think that maybe you're not doing the right thing here. Maybe you should be focusing on the children, or you shouldn't be getting involved with someone who has kids, because it could be upsetting for them to kind of have a new woman in their father's life. Like, it'll be different for everyone, but I'm just seeing there being something that's in the back of your mind about this relationship. And you've got 2 of these as well. So you've got Thirst, Craving, Compulsion, Obsession, number 21. Like, boils down to number 3. But it's also like the World card. And Outsider, Misfit, Loner, Wanderer. And this is number 22, so it comes straight after that. And also boils down to a 4, and we've got a few 4s here already. So yeah, it feels like you're just not getting the attention as much from this person, especially in the early days of this month. And it's like, you want to hear from them, you want to have that connection, because I feel like a lot of you have had that connection in the past. It's not like you've just met this person in this month and like you're just not hitting it off. I feel like for some of you, this is a relationship where you've known this person a while, or you've been messaging this person, and it's just feeling lackluster in the early days of this month, and you're probably already in that period already. And so you feel neglected, you feel lonely, you feel like they've gone off you, or they're just not as interested in you anymore, and you just want to have them back and have them around and have that, you know, experience again. We've got look at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius. So Sag energy coming through now. And yeah, again, this is making me think like this is just a blip in the situation. This is just a temporary lack of communication or miscommunication that's going on. I don't think this is going to pan out for the rest of the relationship. And if you have known this person a while, just look back and realize that there were probably other periods of time where you didn't see eye to eye, or where you had these difficulties communicating with each other. So just remember that this is not forever, and you will have a resolution to this at some point. And I do see it for a lot of you being towards the end of the month of July. We've got deception. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. And getting to know each other. As you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. So some people not being very open about their feelings. For some of you, they have concealed something. Like, for example, if they did have kids, maybe they didn't tell you that straight away. I'm feeling like this deception also is connected to the taboos card for some of you as well. Like, you're keeping this relationship from your family, or you're keeping it from everyone, like your friends as well. And you just feel like you should be telling them, and you feel bad because maybe they're saying, oh, it's sad that you haven't met anyone, but don't worry, you will. And you just feel like, you know, bad for concealing it. But you're still getting to know this person. You're still in like the talking stage, a lot of you. And you kind of want to get to know them better before you start talking about them more openly, or before you introduce them to your kids, or you meet their kids. Like, there's just this need to have more communication here. And you also got 2 of these cards. So you got Vydej se za svým cílem, go after your goal. And vybírej si pozitivní myšlenky, choose positive thoughts for yourself. So yeah, don't lose sight of this relationship. I do think things will improve for you. Don't give up on it now. Think positively, look at the bigger picture. The star card is all about thinking positively as well, having faith that things will work out for the best. So I'm going to put your charms on top now. And just as a disclaimer, if you're wearing headphones or if you have the volume on very loud, I would recommend turning the volume down just while I shuffle them, because they are mainly metal. They're in a metal tin as well, and it can be a bit loud while I shuffle them. So that's your warning. I try to remember to give it because sometimes I forget, and then people get upset because it was like a really loud noise and they had the volume on full. So group number 3, what is coming up for you in your love life in July 2020? Okay, so let's see what we've got. Let's look for initials first. Okay, we've got H, E, R, and M, Herm, like Hermes. Okay, H-E-R-M, so that could be someone's first name, surname, a place, random words could be coming to you now. Oh my goodness, look, Hermes, this is the symbol of the Greek god Hermes, or Mercury in the Roman pantheon. The Caduceus is generally used as a symbol of health now because he was a god of healing as well as a messenger god and so many other things. But that's so weird that these letters spell out Herm and then you've got Hermes coming through, so that's incredible. Basically, whenever we pull a god charm in any of my readings, if you're new to the channel, it means that this god is coming out to you and asking you to kind of work with them. They want to work with you, they want to help you. So if you feel comfortable doing that, I would recommend lighting a candle for Hermes and maybe saying like a blessing or something, or a prayer, or meditating and calling upon Hermes or Mercury, whatever you prefer to call him, and just asking for some guidance or support, or if you want to make this an ongoing thing, asking to work with him, because that's a pretty interesting like double message coming through there. So that's very interesting. Also got the word hope there, which is so nice because that fits in with the star card, and health as well. Healthy relationships moving forward, healthy communication, healthy boundaries. You're being guided. Whenever I get the reindeer, I think of being guided. And we've got the death symbol and then the butterfly. So like something ends, whether that's a relationship from the past or like an expectation or a way of thinking, and then there's like a transformation, there's evolution here, a new beginning, a feeling of being transformed and coming out of that cocoon much stronger, much more confident. Got the anchor as well, the stability symbol, and because you've got some pentacles cards and also those 2 4s as well, it does make me feel like this is quite a stable connection. It doesn't seem incredibly volatile. It may be that there's just been not a lot of change recently, so that's what's coming through, but I think for a lot of you this person is pretty reliable. We've also got magic, which is this fairy symbol. So some of you will be pretty connected to earth and air elementals, which are fairies. Basically, in my shop on Etsy, and also in the future I'm going to do this on YouTube as well, but I offer elemental readings, so earth, air and water. I will do fire soon. I just need to get back to my home country, which is where my dragon cards are, so that I can do the fire ones, but basically that's going to come up in the future, so just be aware of that. We are going to do some elemental readings because I know a lot of you are quite interested in that. Eternal love is interesting as well. I think some of you, this is a person that you've had a relationship with in another lifetime, this kind of love that crosses several lives. And the basketball is about achieving a goal, and I think that's interesting because we have this card, go after your goal. So I feel like there is some success here for you in the future. We've got the change in mindset, the shift in consciousness charm, which is like pretty Celtic, those spirals. And also the changing tide here with the steering wheel, like things turning around, things changing. I do see there being a change later in the month. We've got Leo energy here with the lion. It's also about being prideful. Don't let pride stop you from resolving an argument. Don't let pride stop you from reaching out if you feel like you should. We've also got the shadow self here with the bat, that fear, needing to deal with issues from the past that are like causing shadow self issues. I've just noticed that actually both of these cards have spirals on them as well. These Triskelion symbols. So I think I'm going to pull you a Manannán mac Lir card, because that is his sacred symbol and he's one of my patron gods. I made some special cards to communicate with him, so I'm going to do that in a minute. Let me just get your other charms read. So yeah, divine masculine energy here with the stag. Also this feeling of springtime, like coming out of that winter and into the spring. So strong masculine energy there. And the knight, yeah, definitely there is someone on your radar or someone coming towards you in this month. Okay, so we've got the Triskelion here as well on this key, if you can see that. So definitely going to pull a card now. And the key is nice because that tells me you will find a solution to this situation. So let's get these cards. What do you want to say? These cards that I made. Okay. So Lord Manannán, what do you want to tell everyone who's picked group number 3 today? Healing Herb of Resurrection. Wow, I like that. So if you're not familiar with Manannán and with Celtic mythology more generally, Manannán is basically quite similar to Hermes in that he has this trickster god vibe. He's the god of the sea, and he often just chooses to wander around Ireland because he gets a bit bored and he likes people, so he wants to experience things there and just basically have some fun. And so sometimes he ends up killing people to prove a point, or he sees people who have been killed and he pulls out this special herb and feeds it to them, and it brings them back to life and it heals them of any wounds, any illnesses, anything that has caused them to die. So it's this healing herb of resurrection. And so basically when I pull this card, I say that something in your life is going to be healed and resurrected. So if this is a relationship that you feel has gone stale or sour in some way, then just know that it is going to be remedied. And that's what Manannán wants to tell you today. So I think that's a lovely, lovely message to get, and definitely was coming out so clearly. Got the helmet there as well. So yeah, you have been through a tough time. You have kind of been in battle mode, survival mode for a while. And we've got another god charm here. This shell is Aphrodite or Venus coming through, and she is the Greek and Roman goddess of love and beauty. So you've got a lot of divine help around you here. There are a few different deities that you could call upon for assistance or guidance that are all coming out for you. And yeah, definitely earth energy and water energy seems quite strong. So if you are interested in elementals, those seem to be what are coming out for you mostly here. So I'm going to do your dice now. And if you're new to my channel, this is how I do it. I have a 6-sided dice and I roll that to get the set of dice that we're going to use, because I have 6 at the moment, but I'm looking into getting some more because they're pretty popular with all of you guys. And then I roll this 10-sided dice to determine how many we're going to roll, because there's 9 dice in each set, and if we get a 0 or a 1, I roll again. So let's see, which set of dice are we rolling for group number 3? 2, so that's the original dice, these ones. And how many of these am I rolling for group 3? 8. Okay. So, what is coming up for group number 3 in their love life in July 2020? Oh my goodness, a shooting star. A wish is going to be granted for you, you guys. This is so lovely. This synchronicity, this confirmation is so, so nice. So definitely a wish is going to be granted. Something is going to start going your way after a long time of just not feeling like that. There's also the magic there as well. Transformation, manifestation energy, Sagittarius energy coming through again. And this is about determination. So it really fits with that card about going after your goal. And it was facing straight upwards, so it does feel like there's that upward spiral happening. Like it's not just going to go flat anymore, it's going to start improving. There's this big tower building as well, and I don't think of like the tower card when I get this. I think of this being a pretty stable building, so this feeling of security and stability in this relationship. Seeing the truth as well, possible third eye healing or third eye opening. In this month, some of you are psychic or you have a really strong intuition. The footprint as well. Whenever I get any kind of footprint or paw print, I think of following in someone's footsteps or following someone on social media. So maybe this relationship at the moment is mainly confined to messaging apps or just kind of online. Like some of you might even be emailing. Like that's what I'm getting, this sense of following someone, but you're not really seeing them too much in person. The lightning, something has shocked you about this relationship, something, maybe you just weren't expecting them to pull away like this, or you just feel kind of shocked that something's turned out the way it has. So again, I see things improving for you, which is a nice message. And the parachute as well, maybe wanting to bail on this situation, just wanting to kind of move on to something new and cut your losses. But I think you should stick around just a little bit longer, because I do see towards the end of the month things improving, and I think that's when you can take stock of this relationship. If you are in this energy of wanting to just bail because you feel like it's too much, you weren't expecting this, then I would say stick around until the end of July just to see how it's going to improve, because obviously it's going to be different for everyone. And if it's still not at a position that you feel happy with or comfortable with, then I think you can consider walking away. But I think a lot of you, it's going to get kind of back on track and into a more harmonious situation. And as I said, you got these lovely wish charms and cards, so it looks lovely. It looks like there's a lot of hope here and resolution, and you've got so much divine energy around you right now. It's so, so beautiful. So I hope you enjoyed this group number 3. And now if you didn't pick a gnome, just go back to the start of the video to do that. And if you did, and if you remember what his name is or which number he is, then you can just go to the timestamps in the description box or in the comments section and have your gnome, because that's going to give you some more cards to make it more of a personalized reading, and it's also going to give you your channeled messages for the month. So I'm going to start with the first gnome now, Gismund. Hey there everyone who chose Gismund as their gnome. This is your channeled messages and your gnome tarot cards. So I'm going to take a look in the gnome bag and see what we've got. Should be 2 channeled messages. Yeah, so you've got 3 gnome cards and 2 channeled messages today. So we'll do these first. So we've got look in the mirror and love who you see. Breathe, that's all it takes. Okay, so some of you have been having issues with body image and with maybe low self-esteem or low self-confidence recently, and mindfulness is what's important, and just learning to look at yourself through the eyes of love. This is a good technique that you can do if you can visualize yourself looking in a mirror. You don't have to be physically standing in front of it if you don't want to. You can close your eyes and visualize yourself looking in front of a mirror, and then visualize your consciousness going into someone else who really cares about you, like a best friend or a partner or a sibling or your parents, and like see them looking at you and see yourself the way that they see you. Look at yourself through the eyes of love. That's a really beautiful thing to do. So I like that this combines kind of mindfulness and also body image, confidence, etc. So let's see what Gnome tarot cards you got. Viselnik, so the Hanged Man. Desyatka Trash, the Ten of Cups, and it says Odpusk, which means holiday. And Korol Mechei, the King of Swords, Soznania, awareness, recognition. Okay, so what I'm seeing here is some of you have been in this Hanged Man energy, not wanting to kind of come out of your comfort zone, or not sure of whether you should put yourself back out there, or maybe you're just not sure about a particular person, because I am seeing someone who's kind of on your radar here with the King of Swords. Maybe they're not very emotionally available and that's pushing you away, or they're very career focused. That's kind of like, do they really care? Do they have time for me, kind of thing? It's possible this person is Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or has that quite heavily in their chart. And so what I'm seeing here is that it's important that you give yourself a break in this month. I do see this person possibly offering you some happiness in the long term. Maybe it's just your thoughts that are kind of getting on top of you at this point, because with the Ten of Cups, it does seem like there's a positive communication here and there's a positive relationship, but maybe just your schedules aren't great at the moment, or maybe it's just not a good time right now. Like it's just a busy time for one of you, or one of you has some personal problems to deal with, and so it's just not a great time. But this holiday card, what it means is not like a physical holiday of going somewhere, but having that holiday mindset, like putting your feet up, cutting yourself some slack, breathing, relaxing, that kind of thing. So I feel like what I want to tell you about July, Gismund's group, is just not to overthink things, not to overanalyze things, and just give yourself a break is what I'm seeing. Don't worry too much about the long term. If you do have this person that you're talking to or that you're dating and you're just not sure if they're going to be the right one in the long term, or if they're going to be able to offer you something like that, try not to overthink it. Like just try and enjoy the moment, and also get your confidence back. There's some things that you need to do here to work on your confidence and to work on the way that you think about yourself and the way that you see yourself. Maybe you're just feeling like you're talking to this person, but they're far too good for you, so why would they be interested in you? And you're trying to figure out like what the catch is. So cut yourself some slack in this month. Allow yourself to enjoy whatever this relationship entails. Even if it doesn't turn into like a long-term romantic thing, you might end up with a great friend that you can rely on, or you might just have enjoyed the experience of talking to someone and having that attention, or having that good connection and interesting conversations with someone, because this person's probably got quite a few interesting discussions under their belt that they can share with you. So that's my advice for you in this month, and I hope this resonated with you and that you enjoyed both of the readings put together. If you like this kind of layered reading and you want me to keep the love predictions like this with the channeled messages and the pick a gnome, then do let me know in the comments. I would love to know how it resonated with you, so do leave me a comment. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. If you haven't watched the general reading for July, then you can find that in the description box, along with my Patreon page and links as to how you can support the channel. I would love it if you would check out the Patreon page if that's something that interests you, or my PayPal, or also my Amazon wishlist. I would really love to get some new decks for the channel, so if anyone is feeling super generous, then that would be so great if you would take a look at that and see if anything catches your eye. But please don't feel pressured to. It's only if you feel called to do that and you want to do that. Thank you so much to everyone who has donated to the channel. I think I am going to look into actually getting a proper camera, because it seems I can't rely on my phone all of the time if things go wrong, and it's good to have that backup. So I will start saving towards that. If you want a private reading, I have got an Etsy page and the link is in the description as well. As I said at the start of this reading, please remember to leave your name, your email address and your question. There's like a comments box when you're placing an order to leave notes to me. Just write it in there. And if you are asking about someone else, or if there's anyone else who's kind of involved in your question, please give me their first name as well. That's how I connect to their energy and make sure that this is, you know, the right person that I'm connecting with in the reading. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you're still with me, thanks for sticking around to the end. Have a great month ahead. I wish you all the love and happiness that you deserve, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye, take care. Hey there everyone who picked Gunvald as their gnome. These are going to be your channeled messages and also a few gnome tarot cards to just give you more of a private, personalized kind of style. So we're going to look in the gnome bag and see what Gunvald has put in there for you. See what he has to say about your situation. So we've got 2 channeled messages and 3 gnome tarot cards, so I'll read these first for you. Life is rarely what it seems. What do you truly want? Okay, so life is rarely what it seems. What do you truly want? So basically this is saying that maybe you don't know the full situation that you're in currently. Maybe you don't know everything about the situation, or you just aren't seeing eye to eye with someone, but this is asking you what you truly want. Is the relationship that you're in currently, if you are in one, fulfilling? Is the communication that you're having with someone that you're talking to or dating fulfilling? If you're completely single and you haven't got anyone on your radar, what do you truly want from life? What do you want from a relationship, and what can you give back as well? And I'm not talking about like the physical things, like how someone looks or what their finances are like. I'm just talking about, how do you want someone to treat you? How do you want to feel in a relationship? You know, what do you want from that? And also, how important is it for that person to share your worldview, like about marriage, for example, or about your religion and beliefs just in general? Long-term goals, like career-minded versus family-minded, or somewhere in between. How important is that to you? And how far will you compromise, or how strong will your boundaries be when it comes to relationships, and what is a deal breaker for you? I think basically it's important that you just kind of maybe sit down and write down what are your absolute essentials for a relationship that you won't compromise on, and then some things that are maybe you would like but it's not essential, or you would prefer it if this person wasn't like that, but you would accept it if they were a great person otherwise. And then what is like an absolute deal breaker? I think that would be a good way of figuring out what it is you're looking for exactly. So let's look at your gnome tarot cards. So we've got Shestyorka Bulov, the 6 of Wands, and it says Хорошая судьба, good fortune. Page Mechai, fanatism, so the Page of Swords and fanaticism. And Smert, death. Okay, so we've got Scorpio energy here, as well as all of the air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. What I'm seeing is some kind of cycle is closing off for you. Maybe you have recently left a relationship, or you are just kind of changing the way that you think or approach new relationships. Seems like good things are coming your way. But what I'm seeing mainly here is that, because this doesn't look like good fortune, you know, she's smashed this piñata and it's turned out to be full of water. So what I'm seeing is that actually some of you have had a blessing in disguise recently. Some of you have had a door closed on you, either in love or just more generally, and it's actually turned out to be a blessing. You may not be aware of this yet because this woman is still blindfolded. Life is rarely what it seems. You're not always seeing the full picture all at once. But just know, if you've had a disappointment recently, or if you've had someone let you down, or something just not turn out in the way that you'd hoped, that it was actually a blessing in disguise, and better things are coming your way. And fanaticism as well, with the Page of Swords, I'm thinking about miscommunication here, or not fully understanding someone, not seeing eye to eye with someone. Maybe you've been dating people recently that have been, you know, just not right for you. Like, they've had deal breakers in the relationship, you know, things that they do or believe, or the way that they act or say things to you is just not acceptable. And so there's this feeling of miscommunication, misunderstandings sometimes. Maybe you're just not fully on the same page as people. But fanaticism, these cards, they have little messages that aren't necessarily the same as like traditional tarot. And what it says in this guidebook is, asking yourself whether this battle is actually your battle to get into. So again, it's making me think, like, if you are in a relationship or if you are talking to someone at the moment, are they the right person for you? What do you truly want, you know? So I think it's nice how your cards really match with the channeled messages that you got. So this is like a time of reflection for you now. You need to figure out what you want, and also just know this, even if you can't see it yet and you can't accept it yet, just know that something that happened recently that did seem negative in nature for you, or disappointing or upsetting, was actually a blessing in disguise, and it is leading you down a better path in the future, and you're leaving behind things that just no longer serve you. So I hope you've enjoyed this reading today, and I hope that it resonated with you. Please do let me know in the comments below if it did. I love hearing what your situation is and how it resonates with you. Also, if you like this kind of reading with the pick a gnome and the channeled messages, and you want me to keep the love predictions like that, do let me know as well, because it's a good way of gauging kind of what people like. If you want me to just put it as like a regular pick a card and we just keep it like that, then that's okay as well. But if lots of people like me to keep it like this, then that's what I'll do. Also, I would really appreciate it if you would give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, because it really helps out my channel. I'm trying to get these messages seen by as many people as possible. I am still a growing channel, and it would be lovely to have your support. If you did like any of the decks that I used today, I have listed them in the description, as I always do. And if you haven't watched the general reading for July yet, that is also going to be linked in the description box, as well as ways that you can help out the channel, like my Patreon page is going to be linked there, and my PayPal link for donations and tips for the channel as well. I am going to try and save up for an actual camera, because it seems like I can't rely on my phone, and it would be good to have some kind of backup, especially as the channel grows and I have more responsibility for it. I would also love it if you would check out my Amazon wishlist if you're feeling really generous and you'd like to get a new deck. There might be something that catches your eye that you would like to get for the channel and send it in. That would honestly mean the world to me. So don't feel pressured to do anything like this, but if you are feeling called to do that and you have the money spare, I would really, really appreciate you looking at my Patreon page. It would be great to get to know you better over there, or looking at some of the ways that you can help out and support the channel. If you'd like a private reading, I'm also linking my Etsy page in the description. But as I said at the start of the video, please remember to leave me your name and email address, and also your question, because a lot of people forget to do that. Basically, when you place an order, there is a comments box that lets you leave notes to the seller, which is me, and that's where you can write your information. And if you're asking about someone else, or if someone else is like strongly involved in the question you're asking, then please give me their first name as well, because that's how I connect to their energy in the reading. So I really hope you enjoyed this, and if you're still here, thank you so much for sticking around until the end and listening to me ramble on. Have a great month ahead. I really wish you all of the love and happiness that you deserve coming towards you, and have a great day. Take care of yourself. Bye bye. Hey there, if you chose Geir as your gnome, then this is going to be your channeled messages and your gnome tarot cards. So we're going to have a look in the gnome bag and see what Geir has to say about your situation. So what have we got? We've got 2 channeled messages and 3 gnome tarot cards. So we'll read your channeled messages first. We've got, it doesn't matter if it takes time, you're getting there. Things are blue just like the sea. Okay, so this confused me when I was writing it down, because at first I was like, what does that mean? But I think basically what it's trying to say is that if you feel a bit sad, if you feel a bit blue, then the sea is also blue and it's beautiful. So there can be a beauty in the times where it seems like it's raining all the time, or it seems like it's just a bit miserable for you. There can be a beauty that you can find in that. And I think this is a lovely message as well. It doesn't matter if it takes time, you're getting there. So it doesn't matter if you haven't fully settled down yet, if you are worried that you're running out of time to find someone, or you are worried that a relationship is moving too slowly, you're getting there. So just keep going and just try and find the beauty in your everyday life and in your everyday situation. And I just like that message. It's a bit out there, it's a bit philosophical, but I just like it. And again, I was confused when it came out at first, but I think it's a nice thing to keep in mind. And again, some of you might be really drawn to water elementals. You might have picked a pile where I was talking about that. So we've got Page Chash, Vlubljonost, so the Page of Cups, And this word, I don't think we have a word for this in English because it's such a neat little word in Russian, but it means the state of being in love, like being in love with someone. Девятка мечей, the Nine of Swords, duel, so there's a duel situation, and mir, the world. Okay, so there is someone that you've got your eye on in this month. There is someone that you're talking to or that you're interested in. You've got a crush on someone, and the feelings are starting to come in if you're talking to someone, but we've got this Nine of Swords there, this duel situation, so maybe there is still someone in your situation hanging around, like a third party for some of you. There's someone that's kind of interfering, and this might not be like a romantic third party, but it might be someone's family member or friend that's getting like overly involved. For some of you, it will be that maybe this person has children or you do, and so you're trying to balance that kind of the duty that you feel to the children and the duty that you feel to yourself to be happy. Like there's this kind of clash of wills there, clash of interests going on. And I feel for some of you as well, you will have picked the pile where we were talking about anxiety and fears and self-sabotage in a way, because that's also showing up with the Nine of Swords. But what I like about this is that you've got the being in love, and then at the end you've got the world, this sense of completion, this sense of wholeness and feeling connected to everything and everyone. So I don't think that this kind of anxiety or conflict of interest is going to have too big an effect on your situation. I think that there is going to be harmony that you find, particularly towards the end of the month. The situation is going to be resolved. You're going to find a solution to something, and you just feel more connected to someone. For some of you, there is someone from a different culture or background to you, and that's what's causing this kind of conflict. Like maybe there's a big age gap, or they're from a different country, maybe they don't speak your language very well, or they're not from the same culture or religion as you, and that's causing a conflict. For some of you also, your main connection with them, like your main contact, is via messaging, so like online, and that's what's also causing this kind of, not a rift, but more like a distance. Like that's what's coming through here. But I see there being this nice harmony towards the end of the month, which I really, really like. So I hope you enjoyed this reading today, Gaia's group. I hope it resonated with you. Please do let me know in the comments below if it did. I love hearing about your situation and how it resonates. I would also really appreciate it if you give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps my channel. We are still a growing channel here, and I just want to get these messages out to as many people as possible. One thing I will say as well, if you like this kind of layered reading with pick a gnome and the channeled messages, then kind of let me know in the comments, because if you want me to keep it like this, then I'll take into account whether people would prefer to have it just as a regular pick a card, or if you really like the pick a gnome with the channeled messages, just let me know. If you haven't watched the general reading for July, I will link that in the description, and also all of the decks that I use, they're always linked in the description of every video that I make, so you can always just go there. They're normally at the bottom. A list of the cards that I use. Also in the description box are ways that you can help out the channel. Please don't feel pressured to do this in any way. I only want people to do it if they have some money spare and if they really, really want to. So I would love it if you would check out my Patreon page so I could get to know you better over there, and also my Amazon wish list if you're feeling really, really generous and you'd like to get a new deck for the channel. I would love it if you would just take a look over it. There might be something that you like there that you would really like to see on the channel, so just take a few moments to do that. I just keep adding new ones because I keep seeing so many lovely decks like on other YouTubers channels, or just when I'm looking through the internet, like including new ones that haven't been released yet. I keep making a note in my mind that I should add them when they get released. But yeah, I would love it if you would do that. Also, the link to my Etsy page is in the description for people who want to book a private reading or an angel healing session. I do ask when you book a reading to please leave me your name and email address, and also your question, because a lot of people forget to do that. There is a comments box when you are doing like a transaction, and it lets you leave a note to the seller. That's where you can put your information to me, and only I can see that. No one else can see that. And basically that just is the space for you to write that. But also if there's someone that you're asking about, or if there is someone who's really like involved in the question you're asking, I do ask that you leave their first name as well, because that's how I connect to their energy in the reading. It means that I'm sure that I'm not picking up the wrong person, if you see what I mean. So yeah, names, email address, and question, please, if you're going to book a reading. But if you're still listening, thank you so much for sticking around this long. I really hope that you have a great month ahead of you, and I hope that all of the love and happiness that you deserve comes your way in July. Thank you so much for watching and joining me today. And take care of yourself, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye. Hey there everyone who chose Gjord as their gnome, my last pile. This is your channeled messages and your gnome tarot cards. So we're going to take a look in the gnome bag today and see what Gjord has to say about your situation. It's coming up for you in July. So you've got 2 gnome tarot cards there and also 2 channeled messages. So we'll read those first for you. So we've got, when one thing burns down, new things can grow. And this kind of confused me at first when I was writing it down, but basically what I think was meant by it was that often when things burn down in like a forest or something, it makes the ground more fertile, and it means that new things have space to grow. Like they get that air to breathe because suddenly there's space. And so it's like breaking down something and comes to the ground, and then new things can flourish. It's all okay. Okay, when one thing burns down, new things can grow. It's all okay. And I think that's a nice note to kind of end on in a way. Everything's going to be all right. And what I like about it, actually, when I was writing it down, it doesn't say it's going to be okay. It says it's all okay. Like, it's fine. Calm in the storm. Everything's fine. You're breathing. You're alive. It's all okay. So, looking at these upside down. So we've got Rytsar Chash, the Knight of Cups, Abalshania. So this means seduction. So there's definitely someone you've got your eye on in this month, or someone who's going to start coming towards you. And Strashny Sud, Judgment. Okay, so, right. So for some of you, this is a situation where an ex is coming back, or someone that you used to have a crush on comes back into your life. For some of you also, this is a past life connection, possibly also soulmate connection. This is pretty strong, pretty intense. So definitely someone is moving towards you, is trying to kind of talk you round or get you to agree to go on a date with them. And if some of you have just kind of moved on from a previous relationship, it's just saying it's okay. It's kind of giving you the green light to go ahead with this situation, but it's also okay to say no if it doesn't feel right for you, if it doesn't feel like it's the right time, or if this is someone from your past you don't feel like they're worth a second chance, or you don't feel like you actually want to see them in that way anymore. That's fine as well, because when you close one door, another one opens. Like, that's essentially what this is saying. When you close one door, when something burns down, when you have that death moment, something else starts. So there's a new opportunity always around the corner. But I see this as being positive. I see someone coming towards you with those kind of romantic intentions, and there is like a deep connection here. So just be aware that if it feels very intense, you don't have to be involved in it. You can pull yourself away if you feel uncomfortable with it. But I do see this being quite an important connection in the way that it feels like so intense and strong. So that's what I've got for you today, Gjord's group. I really hope that you enjoyed the reading and that it resonated with you. Please do let me know in the comments if it did. I love hearing about your situations and kind of what you think of the reading. Also, let me know if you like this kind of layered reading with the pick a gnome and the channeled messages. If you want me to keep the love predictions like that, then just let me know in the comments. Or if you would prefer to go back to just a regular pick a card, I'm open to that as well. So let me know so I can kind of gauge what people prefer. I would also really appreciate it if you could give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe if you enjoyed it and you'd like to see more, because it really helps out my channel, and I'm still a growing channel and I want to get these messages out to as many people as possible, so I'd really appreciate your support. If you are interested in any of the decks that I use, I always put them listed in the description box of the video so you can check that out. And if you haven't seen the general predictions for July, I have linked that in the description box, so I'd recommend you go and watch that as well, because it might match up with some of the things that have been said here. Also in the description box are ways that you can help the channel if you want to show some support. I would really love it if you would check out my Patreon page or my Amazon wishlist if you're feeling super generous and you'd like to get a new deck for the channel. Just take a few moments to look through it. There might be something that catches your eye there that you would really like to see on the channel, but please don't feel pressured in any way to do that. It's only if you feel called to and if you have the money spare to support the channel. Also, people who want to book a private reading, I have an Etsy page, as I said before, but please remember, if you are booking a reading, I do offer angel healing sessions as well. If you're booking a reading, then please give me your name, your email address, and your question. I'll also need a name and an email address for an angel healing. Basically, when you make a transaction, while you're in the process of that, there will be a comments box which you can leave a note to the seller in. It will say something like notes to seller or leave the seller a note, and that's where you put your information. You can give me your name, your email address, your question, and if there is, for example, someone that you're asking about or someone who's very heavily involved in the situation, please give me their first name as well, because that's how I connect to their energy in a private reading and make sure that I'm picking up on the right person. So please don't forget to do that, because it can push your reading back if I have to try and track you down to get information that you've left out or forgotten. So that's fine. If you miss the comments box, you can always just send me a message via Etsy. There'll be like a contact link on the page. And you can just send me a message there with the information. That's fine as well. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me today. If you're still with me, thank you for staying to the end and listening. It's lovely to have you on board, and it's been lovely to give you these messages today. And I really hope you have a great month ahead, and I wish you all of the love and happiness that you deserve to come your way in July. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Please take care of yourself. Bye bye.